Vocal Rider and Bass Rider are terrific automatic compressors, gain controls, that look ahead in the audio signal and adjust the volume of the signal so that it remains constant within a range that you define. With Vocal Rider, the compensation can be absolute, depending on the audio signal alone, or relative, depending on a sidechain input signal. For example, the vocal can be controlled relative to the music backing track. The controls are fairly self-explanatory. You set the input sensitivity and speed while the track is playing to make Vocal Rider react the way you want. The music sensitivity controls how much Vocal Rider reacts to the sidechain input. You can limit the amount of gain change with the range faders. I like to keep a fairly narrow band. The target control should be set to the desired level of the signal on average. And the gain control allows trimming after Vocal Rider to avoid clipping. Let's hear how Vocal Rider keeps this vocal nice and level.
I guess I'm addicted, baby. Without you, I'm feeling crazy. Since you're here, I'm thinking maybe you can just stay a while. I'm thinking like forever. Yeah, like forever. Come on, girl, you know me better. When have I said a lie?
You can see that Vocal Rider raised up the quiet parts and ducked the louder parts. The automation controls allow you to write automation into your host digital audio workstation so that the movement of the fader can then be refined. First, you have to enable that automation by adding the rider fader to the parameters that will automate. Set Vocal Rider to write and set your DAW to write.
I guess I'm addicted, baby. Without you, I'm feeling crazy. Since you're here, I'm thinking maybe you can just stay a while.
Now the Vocal Rider is written into your workstation, and you set both things back to read.
I guess I'm addicted, baby.
If you want to refine this automation, you select an area and tweak it till it does exactly what you want. I'm going to change sessions here so we can see Bass Rider. Bass Rider functions much the same as Vocal Rider, but without the sidechain input and automation capabilities. Set the basic speed and sensitivity controls to activate the desired amount of gain control. Use the artifact control to ignore string noises and other transient-type noises if it's a live bass track. And use the spill control to avoid reacting to distance sources on a mic'd bass amp like drum leakage. The target and gain controls function just like Vocal Rider. I have an example here on a live bass. Let's watch it work. You can see it evening out the bass, and I want to show you the automation that I would have had to write by hand if I didn't have the help of Bass Rider. So you can see that it's a real time saver. It just held that solo nicely over the top of the band, and nothing stuck out, and none of those ghost notes were lost. They all spoke very clearly. The Vocal Rider and Bass Rider plugins can give you quick automated gain control over some of the more difficult elements in the music. Try it on some of your own mixes.